Alright, so essentially, here's the corner cut off. Now what I have planned for here is, obviously I need to put a rim joist going across here. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just basically going to cut out, it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to cut out, some of this back, and then I'm going to take some pieces of 2x6, and I'm going to then cleat them onto the side here at the appropriate angle and at the appropriate distance, so then I can put the rim joist on there. The rim joist is going to go on the inside of this, and then obviously this I'm going to do some magic there, even if it gets down to using a flapper wheel and whatever else, because that's going to be, or a multi-tool, one of those side cutting tools or something like that, or just kind of shave it down, and then with a flapper just kind of sand it down till it matches the angle of the rim joist that I'll be putting back here. So it'll be a rim joist back here, and I'll probably be screwing it in from the front. Anyways, the rim joist has got to match this or something rather. Anyways, I got some calculations to do. But yeah, that, and then same thing over here. Rim joist is going to go on the inside, going to go across, and then I'm going to cleat a piece onto this side and a cleat a piece onto this side, at the right angle, and then that way I can nail it to that, bing, 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 and then I don't think I'll be able to get a nail right up in there, but I can probably screw it from the outside with some long screws or something like that, or do whatever, and then trim this down so that I can then finish it off with some of the siding. So the same way. So before, right now it has that thing because there was that corner right there. Well, now it doesn't have that thing anymore. So it has to match, in my opinion, the rest of the house. So I'm planning on taking this little piece of trim off, and then once I get the rim joist on there, then I'm going to get a piece of smart siding and essentially do my very best to extend this down to the same distance as the rest of the house. Boom, boom, boom. And then leave this off. And then once we do the shear panel and all that other stuff in the belly band, then extend it down, caulk it, paint it, maybe be able to tell, who knows. And then yeah. And so again, I've already cut this back. This should be fine. In regards to like the mud sill, however, I do have a J-bolt kind of planned for here, but obviously not. I'm going to be probably putting the J-bolt somewhere, maybe somewhere in here or something. This is going to be an interesting, I didn't really think about that actually, so I'm going to have to get back to you on that as far as how the mud sill is going to go in here. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as I have a J-bolt in here, and even if it's just one piece of fucking mud sill right here, that I'll angle cut it right up to the back of this I-beam, and then I'm going to take another piece of mud sill and fill in right here, and I'm gonna 22.5 it or whatever the fuck this angle is. So, and then this one will get 2 anchor bolts, I think one here and one right here, and then that way, so that when I put the shear panel on, I can nail to that, bam, 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 and it'll be secured, combined with the rim joist up here that will be then as well properly fastened and secured. So then theoretically, that you're not going to tell that there's no fucking mud sill behind right here. Once we put the shear panel on, you're not going to know, because that shit's going to be so well secured from this side and that side that it's going to be locked in. And I'll just have to be mindful of that Romex right there. And that is essentially the plan. Again, I still have to kind of get this down better, but again, that's going to be done with again, I'm just taking, I'm going to take a paddle bit. I'm just going to fucking bam, bam, bam. I'm just going to perforate that shit, knock that shit out. Same thing over here. I'm probably just going to, over here is going to be a little different. Over here, I'm going to do my damnedest to take a Sawzall and maybe come from underneath and see if I can't get a little closer, just kind of, and get it within tolerances. And then again, the rim joist is going to go on the inside, and then this is going to have a couple pieces back right here for backing, and then I'll toenail it up into the floor, and then yeah, and then obviously when I come down with the siding, I will come down only to whatever, because obviously we got to cut this back, cut this up an inch and a whatever, or 2 inches, or whatever the fuck it is that we got to cut. I'm still working on that calculation because I want to be able to use the 8 1/4 belly band. So whatever that works out to is what I'll cut it to, and then yeah, and we'll be good to go.